rewriting in standard form. The main thing that I need you to know about today is what standard form is and how to get it. Does anyone know what standard form is? Oh, there was a start. AX squared plus BX plus C, and for our purposes, we want it equal to 0. So every answer needs to have my squared first, then my plain old x, then my constant, which is whatever number doesn't have a variable with it, and equals 0. My other requirement is A must be positive. Okay? Now, in all fairness, in order to make A positive, I could also have it in this form. I could have the equals 0 on the other side, and it still means the same thing. Okay? But whenever possible, we want ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So, what I'm going to give you is an equation that has already been factored. Okay? Tomorrow we're going to learn how to solve the equation and actually get the answers. It's really easy once it's factored. But today I just want it to be in standard form. So what I notice here is there's parentheses. Are there any parentheses in standard form?
No.
So how do I get rid of the parentheses? Distribute. X times x is?
X squared.
X times 5 is?
5x.
Nothing else to multiply. Is that standard form?
Yes.
It just has a C value of what?
0.
0. That wasn't hard, was it? Okay. Let's look at this guy. You know what? Actually, before I do number 2, I'm going to do number 3 next. Again, there's parentheses, so I got to get rid of the parentheses. How can I do that?
Distribute 1.
Multiply. You can either use the distributive multiplication method, or you can use the box multiplication method. I don't care, as long as you're doing it correctly. N times 4n is 4n squared. N times negative 1 is negative n, or negative 1n. 3 times 4n is 12n. And 3 times negative 1 is negative 3 equals 0. Let's see, what do I need to write first for standard form?
4n squared. Don't you have to
Next, I'm going to have to combine these like terms, yes?
Yeah.
So what does that give me? 11n minus 3.
minus 3.
That's it? Oh, yeah.
Terribly difficult, huh?
Very.
Okay. I'm going to do number 5 next. I'm just going to do the odds and then the evens. How about that? All right, so 8n times 4n is what? 32n squared. And then 8n times 3 plus 24n. Ah! I was about to box it without doing the equal 0. We need the equal 0 here.
If you don't put the equal 0, it's wrong.
Yes, and I'm going to growl while I grade your paper too. So I wouldn't mark you off entirely, but you'd lose like a half a point, and that's a stupid half a point to lose if you can avoid it, right? Okay. How about up here? What's different about this one?
You have a 3 outside the parentheses.
I have a 3 outside the parentheses, so I know how to multiply these guys. I have a couple options. Hold, please. All right, so I have a couple options. I can either multiply this whole thing together and then at the very end distribute the 3. But knowing me, I tend to forget the 3 at the end. Don't know if you would, but I would. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to distribute the 3 first. I only distribute it through one parentheses though. So that's going to give me 12x plus 9. And now when I multiply by the x plus 7, I'm technically multiplying both the 3 and the 4x plus 3 by the x plus 7 because it's all in that first parentheses now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then I don't have to worry about remembering the 3 at the end because I've already taken care of it.
Yeah.
So now, again, you can. I'll do this one box method. Boom.
So how come you don't have to do the second?
I do not want to get it. Don't even get it.
Okay, this is the way I think about it. How come you don't have to multiply it through the second parentheses is what you're asking, right? Okay, do you remember, have you ever seen that thing, I think it's Champagne they do, but they stack up all those glasses in a pyramid,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and it's like they pour in the first one, but it kind of spills over. You've poured this in the first one, it's going to spill over to the second one when you're doing this,
Okay.
because it's kind of hidden in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Common sense.
They don't need to add champagne to those other glasses, they just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
oh,
X plus 7. All right, all positives, good. 12x times x is 12x squared. 12x times 7, is that 84?
Yeah.
Oops. I'm not good with my 12 times tables, my goodness. 84x. 9 times x is,
9x.
and 9 times 7 is 63. I have like terms right here, so writing this in standard form, I have 12x squared
Uh-huh.
plus 93x
Yep.
plus 63
Equals 0.
equals 0. Yay!
That was a long one.
That's what she said.
Ew.
Okay. So why don't you try number 4 then,
Yeah.
since it's just like number 3.
It's a
It
long
was long.
Here we go. So I'm going to multiply the 5 into here. So that gives me 5n plus 5. Yes. Yes.
Should we do it in the other method instead of the box?
The distributive method? Yes, I will do this one in the
I did
distributive
it
method.
wrong.
So, there's my 5n plus 5, and then n plus 3. And now I don't have to worry about the 5 because it's going to spill over into this guy when I multiply it. Yeah? So let's see. 5n times n.
5n squared, yes.
Yes, you have a test on Friday.
Wait.
Way to be focused. 5n times 3 is 15n. 5 times n is 5n. And 5 times 3 is 15.
Equals 0.
And standard form, what has to come first?
5n squared
And then
plus 20n
plus 20n
plus 15.
plus 15 equals 0.
80.
There we go.
I did it right. For once.
All right. Happy studying.